If you're new to the channel, welcome home. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome home. This is LA Chronicles, the graph game. I'm your host, the Givr, and today I have with me an East Hollywood legend, a graffiti veteran, representing AAA. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming Butcher to the show. What's up, big guy? Good to finally meet you, man, and get you in the studio, man. I appreciate it. Let's talk about, I know you're from AAA. Could you tell me or tell us what that stands for?
Several different meanings, but the main one is abstract aerosol anomalies.
Okay, abstract aerosol anomalies.
All about art, attacking all authority.
Okay.
Many different.
Yeah. Okay. Are you like the founder?
There's three founders. Originally, it was me, the homie Smog, and the homie Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the one that kept doing it consistently, and Yoda like stopped doing graffiti, and Smog. Yoda was really dope. He did comic books.
Yeah.
And Smog got into graphic design and just became a father and started working and didn't have that he became a professional graphic design dude, and so he still gets down on other stuff. But those are the dudes I started with. But through the 32 years of basically of the innovation, the creation of the crew, I've been the most consistent. I'm the one who kept recruiting people and painting.
Yeah. The other guys, are they still active in graffiti?
No.
Or they're out the game? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. And were you has that been the only crew that you've ever been a part of?
I've been from a couple crews. I was from LTS and KOG in the late 90s.
Oh, okay.
From 97 till 2000. 97 to 2000.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Cool.
Not 2001, pardon me. 97 to 2000. That's when my son was born. My first son was born. Zion was born. So, 97 to 2000. And
you got into both of them at the same time?
Yeah. Okay. About the same time. It's like KOG, then LTS, like a couple months after KOG.
Yeah.
So I just met certain heads and then met certain.
Oh, okay. But right now it's just AAA?
3A.
Okay.
All about art.
All right. For sure, dog. Dope, man. Dope. I didn't know that about you, so that's good. Good little history. So let's get into your story. What's your, I know you're from the Silver Lake, East Hollywood.
Yep.
All that little area.
Right.
I was a kid in the 80s. I was a teenager in the 90s. And I never really got out of the neighborhood that I was in, man. So like Silver Lake, I didn't know really didn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Even just barely getting to know it as an adult. But you're telling me, when we spoke, you told me that it was much different than what it is now. And the way it's present in its present state is the only way that I know it. All gentrified. But for graffiti artists and people in LA that aren't familiar or weren't familiar with Silver Lake, could you tell us like what it was like growing up in that area?
Active gang neighborhood, different gangs, just a few blocks down, different hoods. Up in the hills, it was always like nicer, higher, higher income real estate. But at the bottoms, towards Sunset, if you go in East Hollywood area, down like around Virgil, that's the hood, It's hood, and it was always hood down there. The gentrification kicked in, acclimated over a few decades, and it's just gnarly now. Like Silver Lake is probably, Forbes magazine called it one of the most gentrified, or the hipster most gentrified spots in the world, not just the United States, Silver Lake specifically.
Yeah.
But Crash Unit still looks for the homies till this day, and like it's crazy. Like they had like 50 cops on the block during the 4th of July, for some firecrackers, took the little homie, right down the street. But up the street is a cafe, and these people all fancy, sipping their cappuccinos and shit,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was way different. There were shootings all the time. Nothing would happen. There's a lot of more what you would say ghetto stuff, but I wasn't raised ghetto, but there was a lot of that stuff going on, Yeah,
and
it's not what it was now. But and also a difference, there was also a different camaraderie amongst people. People would wave at each other. People knew each other. Hey, how you doing? It's different now,
Yeah.
When I was growing up.
Just so we have frame of reference? Like what would be like the nearest major intersections that you grew up at in Silver Lake?
So originally when I was born in '79, I lived by King Junior High School, which is on Fountain and Sanborn.
Mm-hmm.
And then in '85, we moved right down the street on Effie and Sanborn, which is a block north of Sunset Boulevard. So right there where it's all gentrified now, you know what I mean? And then in '87, we moved like more on the other side of Silver Lake towards Silver Lake Boulevard off of Vendome, and that's where I grew up like when I was a kid. By Los Globos is where the old club is at now. And that used to be gnarly. There used to be shootings like almost every other week, like just in the parking lot at that spot when I was a little kid, you know what I mean? It used to be popping like, my parents would be like, stay away from the windows when I was a little kid, you know what I mean? So, because of the gunshots.
Yeah.
So that's how it was growing up. And like, people hearing me say this, be like, yeah, right. But those who know, you know what I mean? Those from like out here on this side down south, that knew that they would have problems from like law enforcement, Rampart Division, known to be one of the most crooked police departments in the United States.
Yeah.
Most people are familiar with the Rampart scandal.
Los Angeles Police Department is embroiled in the worst scandal in its history.
That now brings the total number of cases overturned to 40.
Meantime, the city's dealing with a growing number of lawsuits growing out of this scandal. Several major developments today.
Los Angeles officials say it could take years to resolve the city's police corruption scandal, its worst ever. More convictions were overturned today. The city is looking at millions of dollars in legal claims by people wrongfully accused.
That's a huge mess.
That description of the Rampart police corruption scandal given today by District Attorney Gil Garcetti. 9 more criminal convictions thrown out today. That makes 40 so far, including Stephen Garcia's.
I lost my family, my home, cars, clothes, everything.
Garcia says ex-Rampart police officer Rafael Perez framed him.
He showed me some cocaine and told me that if I didn't give him some information on who was selling firearms or who was selling certain amounts of drugs and so forth, that I was going to go to prison.
And he did, for almost 3 years. Now Garcia's attorney is working on a lawsuit against the city, just one of many that could cost Los Angeles up to $125 million.
So let's talk, could we talk briefly about, did you ever have any like encounters with them back in the day?
Several. I'm not going to delve into details, but I will say that they beat me up really bad once in handcuffs. I mean, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm on gang profile, so because of where I grew up, my neighborhood affiliations. And so it's almost like they took more. What they did to me in handcuffs was like, okay, it's like I'm trained in martial arts. I've been in a lot of fights growing up. This was different. This was the most disrespectful thing. I'm in handcuffs, face down on the ground. I got fools kneeing me in the back, socking me in the back of the head. I'm not trying to catch a fair one, obviously. Just like 15 cops. And they haven't even found the weapon yet. They found the weapon, but they didn't find the weapon yet. They just did it because they caught me. You know what I mean? And so, and I'm not running the streets like that anymore. This was back in the days. What I'm saying is I was a youngster and I was in a situation where I had to protect myself because of a rival gang member who's been jealous of me since high school because of a girl that liked me. Straight up. So I had to be with the business to go get the butane I was getting at the time. So, LAPD, Rampart, they beat the crap out of me, but you know, it is what it is. It's not the type of situation you would take to court when your mom still lives in the area. You know what I mean? So, I've had several encounters. That's just one of them. We could talk about sheriffs in county. I'm not gonna do any of that, but I'll talk about Rampart Division. I've seen I've heard a lot of racist stuff come from these cops' mouth right in front of people, and then you can't do nothing about it. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's just the officers. I think it's their higher ups that give them the authority to act like that. You know what I mean? So what's going on right now as we speak is a good display that they haven't chilled out and they work for a higher force. And we've been compromised. And those that have believed in the LAPD, and I don't say we because I'm allergic to pork. I've always been allergic to these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? But all these people that are like, oh, we call the cops, and like thought that they were good are seeing now that they're complicit with ICE.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When you see Bassett saying like, oh, I'm that about the MacArthur Park thing,
Yeah.
Bassett speaking up like, we're not gonna have this in my city. That's like the homie said, a political stunt.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're all
yeah,
working
yeah.
together. It's one hand. They're working for the same group. You know what I mean? But
All
yeah.
right.
Sorry, I digressed.
Yeah,
That
it's
was,
all good.
yeah.
It's all good, dog. I want to talk a little bit more. Kind of want to stay on the topic of you growing up, your childhood. What high school did you go to, Butcher?
I went to John Marshall High School.
Yeah.
But then I got kicked out, and then I went to what's it called, AWAC, and it was a continuation school.
Okay.
And then, but yeah, the one high school I did go for a couple of years was Marshall.
Okay.
John Marshall, that's in Silver Lake area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what was the scene like, man? Graph scene. At high school?
Every dude
Everybody?
my age was a tagger.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, everyone was a tagger. You know,
Is there anybody?
if you were cool, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I wasn't really a tagger. I was piecing. I was in like piecing already when I was in high school.
In high school, is that right?
Yeah, and the only other piecer was older than me. It was Swank. Swank was already getting down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if anyone, I mean, Cache went to my school, but he wasn't doing pieces. He wasn't a piecer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I was piecing. That's what my thing was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Swank was already like dope already. I was
Yeah.
just a kid, like trying to get down and develop my craft. You know what I mean? But I remember that was my desire to piece. But a lot of kids were taggers at Marshall. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? I saw some pictures of some of your stuff from like the 90s, and it looks very similar to your current style right now, like all wild style and like dope. I'm like, damn, this fool's been killing the game for
Thank you.
some time now, dog. Did you go to like art school or anything like that?
Oh yes, I went to the art center for about 3 years, and my sabbatical
knew
in
it.
North Africa was a little bit of education and a pinch of cinnamon. No art school, no
Yeah.
art school at all. Just I
You
mean,
self-taught?
I would say self-taught, but I've had inspiration through my family, through my mom, through her friend Jenna that taught me little things when I was a kid about like imagination. Like she gave me little descriptions on how to look at things differently
Yeah.
to show me that I was creative, but she didn't teach me a stroke or any way to paint at all.
Yeah.
So all my painting, I took a caricature class. It was a one-day college course. The course at this place called Classes Unlimited that my mom was involved with when I was 11,
Mm-hmm.
which I did remember learning something about caricatures that day. But my mom told me when I was a kid, she's like, "You draw better than some adults." So I always know how to draw.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it wasn't an ego thing because like, what? I don't. There's adults as bad as me. But then who am I to judge? I just didn't know other kids that drew around me. I was just into drawing myself. And my
Yeah.
brother drew like comic book characters as well.
Mhm.
But I was into drawing like just weird shapes and anything, Transformers, robots, Robotech, Japanimation was my thing, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You could still see that in my style. But no one ever taught me how to paint. So this is how you hold the brush.
Yeah.
My homie Yoda, who I started the crew with, he gave me the advice to paint on black. He didn't teach me can control. We were at the SH yard right there in Atwater,
Mhm.
and it's like just buff out black first, and we just did a black background. It was no buff, but actually,
Yeah.
and then go with your dimmer colors and add your lights from there. So he was the one that showed me that way of painting, and so to re-answer your question, so he did teach me that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, and I have to give that credit because I still utilize that today. Like even my 3D burners,
Mm-hmm.
like the way I do a bomb is different. I'll go drop my fill, and then I'll chop in an outline and then fill in the blanks, right?
Right.
My 3D stuff is way different. My best work is on a black canvas, and then I go with my fades first, and then I just highlight everything and bring it in. You just see it come to life, kind of,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah, I didn't have any art school
No.
to answer
Okay.
it directly.
Okay. No, you did. You told me you did a little bit of like breakdancing and stuff like that.
I mean, a lot of breakdancing.
Oh, is that right?
Until this,
Could we talk a little bit about that
yeah.
part of your story?
Yeah. Started breakdancing when I was little in the 80s when it first started popping, when Herbie Hancock Rocket, when I heard that at Alexandria in preschool, we rolled up. I heard, and there was a crowd, and then I didn't even know what was going on, and then I just jumped in the crowd and started trying that shit. That's the first time. It was '84.
Yeah.
And so there were not many outlets to do it until like summer camp in '88, and I remember like it'd be something that we would play around with when you see a floor just randomly, like, you know what I mean? My brother wasn't really into it, but we were stoked on Beat Street. So like in '87 and '87 we're at the Boys and Girls Club, I would just always try to do backspin. So I always had backspin since I was a little kid, you know what I mean?
Okay. So where'd you learn? Where'd you learn how to get down like that?
I didn't really learn, well, I did. Well, eventually. At this time, I didn't. I was just trying it. You know what I mean? I would do it, and like, oh, how many times can I spin on that floor because it's a slippery floor? And then in junior high, there were other kids doing it that were getting into it. And it was a small group of kids, like predominantly Filipino kids, and a few Latino kids, and then me. And we would practice in the hallways of junior high, and then at the dances we would battle, like at Beat Street, like at junior high, like the school dances. And in high school we were known as just the breakdancers already, and that's when like I ended up meeting the Air Force crew at the Dream Center, and they used to call it in. I would practice every day with Little Caesar, Animation, Chuco, and then they introduced me to all sorts of other cats because I kind of toured with them around California and the United States. We flew to Seattle to do like breakdancing performances with this group called West Coast Flavor. And so basically I got to practice with some of the best dudes in the world so I became a professional breakdancer in my late teenage years. I got paid for certain gigs. I did a couple of videos. I did one that's pretty well known, the Crystal Method, The Name of the Game. Where there's a guy with a nose mask, and I got dreadlocks at the time. That's me battling him. That was in 2001. But yeah, I was b-boying heavily at one point. But then I had back surgery in 2017. Yeah. And so and I wasn't doing it a lot at the time. I still had some moves. I still could do air flares or whatever. But 2017, I had back surgery, so I won't attempt to do the crazy. Fast gymnastic stuff, you know what I mean? I probably could do one-hand 90s still and stuff like that, but...
Yeah. And you still got love for it, man?
Dude, well, it's more like a hatred, and I'll tell you why, because it's like I used to have nightmares that I'm doing flares and my legs aren't moving, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then during the day when I'm awake, I rock my flares, rock sick-ass flares. Yeah. And so now I really can't do flares. No. So yeah, that's why. But no, of course I got love for it, bro. Like I don't hate it. I just like when I see fools getting down, I'm like, fuck. I want to get out. You get my point. I can't risk doing it like I used to at the competitive level. Yeah. Even though I could probably still do some sort of that fucker's down, but no, to me it will never be getting down because I know what I used to do. Like I used to try to do like power tricks. So not just the power moves, a trick that only one person, like a signature move. I made up some signature moves, you know what I mean? Yeah. One's called the Lotus Drop and shit. But to where the person can't do shit against what I do. Like, okay, what are you gonna do to that move? That's impossible. Stuff like that. So and that could be why I needed back surgery or something that acclimated over the years and became a bigger problem. I don't know. But
okay. Now have you always been Butcher, writing Butcher, or did you have any other name?
I used to write Givr. I used to write Givr when I was like 13. Then I changed it.
Hey, have a nice day. Huh? Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
On the hood, bro.
Nah, serious.
And I changed it, but not spelled like yours, bro. Yeah. But then I changed it to Krang in '95, Crang. Yeah. So
well, let's go back to Givr, man. How'd you come up with that name, man?
Adele the Funky.
Did you see me up somewhere and then you said, "Oh, I want to start"?
Adele the Funky Homo sapien. Donate to science. Then throw it in the liver. No, leave it in the liver. In the river without a liver. Then I donate to science because I'm a giver. I got it from Adele the Funky Homo sapien. Yeah.
I do remember that album.
I fuck a broad, then I chuck her in the river without a liver. Then I donate to science because I'm a giver.
I fuck up and I chuck her in the river without a liver, and I donate to science because I'm a giver.
But okay, so you wrote Givr for A year or
like
two?
about 2 years,
Okay.
I don't know, probably about a year and a half, and then in '95 I became Crane, which is
Are you saying Crane?
it was
Crane?
Krang, but I would spell
Oh,
it
Crane.
Crang.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
So the original one from Ninja Turtles is Krang,
Mm-hmm.
but I went Crang.
Okay.
And yeah, I did that. I wrote that all the way up until like '98, late '98, and that's when I changed it to Butcher
Okay.
myself. Like, you know what I mean?
So you wrote Krang for what, 4 years, 5 years?
Yep,
Something like that?
approximately.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then during that time, did you feel like, damn, I need to switch it up, or you just weren't feeling your name as much? What
Well,
led
no,
you
I
to?
mean, it's just I got sick of having to explain and someone say crane, like you're never gonna remember. It's gonna be a crane. Like it's not a real word. Not everyone knows like who the dude from the Ninja Turtles was.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
It wasn't spelled with a K like the dude
Yeah.
from the Ninja Turtles. And I don't know, like Butcher sounded dope. Like my shit always looked like blades or like a sharp metal, 3-dimensional, and so I kind of went with that kind of theme. Like, and my style, competitive, like what's up, get chopped up, was good. Like
Yeah.
that's battle graffiti. You know what I mean? Like that's my shit. Like I'm not like the introvert, subtle, like oh I'm an artist. I'm a graph writer, homie. I bomb. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm about
Yeah.
that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
active shit.
Do you remember any writers that you saw in your neighborhood, dog, that inspired you back in the day?
Writers or I mean piecers. I was more inspired by piecing.
Piece-
I
okay,
wasn't
cool.
like in it
Yeah.
for like tags. I saw everybody and their mom, but
Yeah.
I never really paid attention. Not to sound like a dick
Yeah.
to those that were up. There were certain crews that were up. I remembered like I would remember MWA just because it's similar to NWA, and I was
Yeah.
in the NWA stuff like that. You know, I remember the crews that were around DTW. I remember different names, but like the piecers, I remember the SHs.
Any individuals that you can recall?
Like Swank's one of them I mentioned.
Okay.
Uh,
Is he from your crew?
huh?
Did you say he was from your crew?
No, Swank is
Okay.
from SH, Seeking Heaven. I don't know what other crews he's from,
Yeah.
but I know he's from Seeking Heaven.
Okay.
A lot of the, like Precise was dope.
Mm-hmm.
But none of them were in my area.
Okay.
They were like around, like, you know, maybe like Atwater, like different areas surrounding my area. So that's as close as like
Yeah.
the
yeah.
piecers that I recognized. But I met Slick when I was young, and Doze Green at this Japanese film shooting they were doing, and Dozer brought me under his wing and told the production crew I was his company and got me to paint with them. And it was a great experience, and that's when I met Slick. I met Mayor, and Slick showed me love on what I was doing, and so did Doze Green. Got me fed, and kind of gave me a jump start and advice, and it was game, bro. Like, so yeah, I had some like influences that were already. I didn't know who Doze Green was at the time, but in my books, that dude's a solid dude because he made me feel like I was part of what they were a part of, and I was just a 15-year-old kid at the Belmont Tunnel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was literally creeping around with like a scrap, trying to catch a little like, you know what I mean, spot, and this was like they hooked me with paint. It was like, yeah, and then I was kicking it with like Legends. And then I ended up painting with Slick down the line on one of my walls because he remembered the situation. I'm like, hey, I'm that kid, blah, blah, blah. And he just happened to be at one of my walls. I'm like, dude, there's a spot for you. And I painted with Slick.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, it was just the heads that, you know what I mean? Like, those are my experiences I remember.
Now, you mentioned the Belmont Tunnel. Did you ever paint there? Or you paint? Oh, you painted there also?
I caught several beefs at that spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a little incident there as well. I never really liked going there. I know it was a hot spot, but yeah, just
the food used to set trip there too, like
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still be down there, you know. But yeah, and then like a lot of foods that are even out now, I remember like would be tripping. Nah, but I would be down there catching spots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was my learning grounds right there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay. Dope, man. Now, when you began writing, what did your parents say, bro, when they found out?
When I got caught by the cops, and my dad was pissed, but like they always supported, both of them supported my art and that, like when I was going out to get gigs, but they didn't hate like other parents hated on, like, oh, graffiti, like it was evil. So they knew I had artistic intentions with it.
Yeah.
And they were pretty supportive, except for like when I was getting picked up from juvie and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How many siblings you have, Butcher?
I got a brother and a sister, older
Okay.
brother and a little sister.
Okay. Was your older brother involved with graph?
Oh, no.
No? Okay. Just, did you
He
say
got
it was...
in trouble because once I dipped out, and because he was supposed to like stick with me, and he
Mhm.
went, "Oh, I'm gonna go this way," and I went and caught a spot and got arrested.
Yeah.
So he would get in trouble because I dipped out. Shit
Yeah.
like that,
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. When you got caught, well, let me ask, how many times have you been caught for graph?
Once.
Oh, just that one time?
Yeah, once.
Oh,
when I-
okay.
When I was like a kid, bro, I was 16. But
Was it
ghost
bombing or just a tag?
tagging, catching tags with
Just
a
catching
pilot, bro,
tags?
down Hollywood Boulevard.
Mhm.
Continuation, me and my homie Detect, rest in peace,
Mm-hmm.
and Boxy from CNE.
Yeah.
And I was trying to show off, I guess, and I was just wasted the whole pilot on every white wall with a black pilot. And these fools were following us, the undercover cops. It was like an Italian name. I forgot the big dude's name,
Mm-hmm.
but with Hicks,
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant Hicks.
Yeah.
And these fools rolled up us. Don't you think about it? Rolled up on us, and they were like saying all sorts of like pedo shit about homegirl, like disrespecting homegirl,
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, hey, that girl looks good." I don't know if they were trying to just push our button, but what they were
Yeah.
saying was disgusting about a minor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Putting them on blast about that, but yeah, like that was the only time I actually got caught doing graffiti. You know what I mean?
What time
They
of
had
the day was
photographed broad daylight. It was like
Oh, okay.
afternoon, like 3:30 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
In the afternoon, and then I was like telling my parents, "They're lying." I'm like, "Hey, we're tagging all." They said you were tagging all. My parents were like, "You said you were tagging all the way from Western to Vine or
Yeah.
to Gower or something like that." Because it was the Florentine Gardens. That's pretty close. I'm like, "Nah, they're lying." I just said, whatever. And so when they took me to community service, the cops were sitting there and they had all the photographs light. They had 10 photographs, bro.
Yeah.
Light out. I'm like, AAA. And my mom looked at me like, "Oh yeah, they're lying, huh, fool?"
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. You mentioned that name. That he was actually part of that ghost team, man, the
Ghost
graffiti
team.
task force. And I almost got busted by him. It was Officer Hicks, it was the black undercover.
Yeah,
And it was his partner, Dela Cruz, man. It was
I think
Hispanic.
no, that's who I'm talking about. I
Oh,
said
is that what
Italian
you're talking
Dela
about?
Cruz. He was Dela Cruz. I just thought it was Italian for some reason.
Oh,
Maybe I'm
okay.
thinking it's him.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, okay.
That's the big dude, hairy,
Yeah.
burly motherfucker,
Yeah. And so
linebacker.
they almost caught me, dog, on Figueroa and Manchester, if you're familiar with it's in South Central,
Yeah,
South LA. It's a big major intersection.
Yeah.
And they were like just a few seconds from catching me. They ended up catching a homie of mine. But I won't mention on this story, but yeah, they caught the homie and almost caught me. And I just barely got away. But that when you told me that name, I'm like, damn, this fool was everywhere. These fools were everywhere in the city, busting everybody.
Well, I couldn't even. They would frisk me in front of like a group of people walking home from school. So I'd be like walking from Marshall. They call me by my last name. Blah. I'm gonna say my last name.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh shit. And I would like have to run across the street and then go against their car and get frisked. And then and everyone was like, damn, for what'd you do? I'm like, nothing, for I caught. And I also, because of that, I got a gig through community service, through the ghost team, actually through the community service that went through the ghost team. I don't know if you know the one that was right there by Vignes, across the street from Union Station,
Yeah, no, I never got community service.
That's where I went.
Yeah. Was as a result of you getting caught tagging?
Well, because they were involved with the art department, the dude Ron Connolly at Union Station.
Yeah.
And he saw my portfolio and they offered me a gig to paint something at Union Station. And if I'm not basically I was still active and it was like paying like 15 grand or something like that.
Oh, damn.
It may have been, I think it was something like that. And long story short, they were still investigating, and I was still active tagging, and they had compiled several photographs of my crew being up. I tried to disclaim it and say I started a crew and there's other dudes doing it, but they said no, that's your hand style.
Yeah.
That's you, and so I forfeited that opportunity, and I was gonna say who I thought ended up getting the gig because he was more square at the time, but I don't want to like defamate his character unintentionally if he wants his name. But another writer, I think, ended up getting that opportunity. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I was still bombing, so these fools found out and kind of burned me for it. So fuck Ghost Unit.
Yeah.
So they investigated and burned me after I had an opportunity. Like,
Mm.
oh, what? You're gonna like still like, oh, like I'm supposed to be this reformed guy that doesn't like tagging anymore, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. That was, like what I'm saying is I'm saying fuck them because of what they said about that girl in the car.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know about like pedophilia shit and that like this what cops would do, but as a father of 3 children, you know what I mean? One of my sons, my oldest son's an adult, he's 24, that bothers me. That these fools would even say that about someone's daughter because that was someone's daughter in the car, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And those dudes are someone's boss now. I know they're still out there. They're the bosses now.
Oh, really?
They're the dudes. Well, I would assume so, right? We think they're retiring age. Like, I'm 40. I'm 45. I'm going to be 46 this month.
Yeah.
I was 16, so that's 29 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're not retired. I'm pretty sure these are the bosses. They're the head honchos running that shit.
You know, when I ran into them, it was like 98.
Damn, look like you said.
98.
The head honchos running this shit. Pedophiles. Does that sound like our country? You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah. So they could be, man. It's pushing on 30 years, bro. But yeah, De La Cruz was the more aggressive one, bro. He pressed me pretty hard, bro.
Yeah.
Pressed me pretty hard.